Hello, so today we're going to be doing the TBR for the final month of this year. This is everything that I plan on reading and filming in the month of December. So here's a quick look at what I plan on reading right off the bat. I'm sure plenty of you are saying, hang on, where's Wind and Truth? I'll tell you in a minute, but in this TBR lineup, we have a couple of heavy-hitting stories. Days of Shattered Faith, Too Like the Lightning, Told the Hounds, of course. And then we have, on the other side, some very light and cozy stories. So I'm trying to strike a balance in the month of December. Now, as I mentioned, Wind and Truth is probably on a lot of people's minds. Maybe even the Frederick Bachman book is, The Answer is No, is on people's minds as well. So I'll give you an explanation right off the bat. The answer is no. The ebook was made available early on Amazon, so I nabbed it. So I plan on reading it probably tomorrow, and I'll have read it in November. Wind and Truth will be read, don't worry, but I am dragging my feet on Told the Hounds. I thought it would be done by now, but it's just in the chaos of life, it's easier for me to grab a more condensed and shorter book than the vastness that is a Malazan book or a Stormlight book. So I just continue to pick up other things instead, but I need to actually give Told the Hounds the focus that it should be having. So I want to make it a priority in December, and I just know that it's not going to be helpful to me as a reader or enjoyable to try to balance Malazan and Stormlight at the same time, so I'm just not going to do it. So, you know, everybody else, like all of book 2 pretty much is going to be jumping on Wind and Truth, so there will be plenty of people to talk to about it, don't worry. And I will be reading it, you know, after everyone else has read it and is finished talking about it. But don't worry, I will be reading it, and I'm very excited for it. Okay, so I'm going to go into a little bit more detail for each of these books on my TBR in case there's any that you hear about that you also would like to pick up in December, and then we'll go over my video schedule. Days of Shattered Faith by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is the third book in this series, The Tyrant Philosophers. I think that's the first time I've read that title name. The first book is called City of Last Chances. I really enjoyed City of Last Chances. Absolutely loved House of Open Wounds, and I'm so excited for book 3. I don't know if this is the conclusion or if there's going to be another one, but I've really enjoyed this series, and I can't wait for the next book. I don't have a description for you. I'm not going to read it because, well, first of all, it's the third book in the series, so how would that be helpful to you? But also, I don't want any spoilers, and sometimes sequel books can have too much information in them, in my opinion. Next up is Told the Hounds by Steven Erikson. This is a Malazan book, and this is one that I've had on my TBR for 2 months before this one. And I'm really just not very far into it because, again, just the chaos of life, it's easier to pick up something easier. But I want to read this. Like, I chose to read it because I wanted to, so I'm gonna try to make it a priority in December. Next, we'll pop down to sci-fi for Too Like the Lightning. So the description of this book is a lot, so I don't even know how to summarize this. All I know is that it's set in a utopian land. There's a convict, a spiritual counselor, and also maybe a boy who can make inanimate objects come to life. I don't know. It's a lot to take in for the description. One of my patrons sent this to me because it's his new favorite, and so I'm going to try it. Of all the books on my TBR, this is actually the one that I'm the most hesitant about. I'm just not sure. When I got it in the mail, I read the first couple of pages, and I'm hesitant. I'm not sure it's going to click for me like it did for Grand Soul, but we're gonna try it. Next up is The Teller of Small Fortunes. It says, a wandering fortune teller finds an unexpected family in this warm and wonderful debut fantasy. So cozy fantasy is very hit or miss for me. It's actually more often miss than hit. But the main thing that draws me to this story is the cover. It's just so beautiful. And around Christmas time, I do crave cozy stories more, so I want to try it. This was on my new releases video. It was the one that I said, well, one of them that I said I may get to it, I may not get to it, but it's on my radar, and it's continued to stay on my radar. And each month, my patrons pick 2 books for me to read, and this was one of the Patreon picks. So they basically gave me permission to take a risk on this one, so I really hope I love it. Next is You Make It Feel Like Christmas. This is following Star, who goes home for the holidays after losing her job, and it's her sister's wedding, who she's getting married to Star's ex-boyfriend. So it's just like, it's not an ideal situation, but when she gets there, of course, she stumbles on a holiday romance. I think it's with her brother's best friend, maybe? Again, romance is not a genre that I read very often, but around the Christmas season, for whatever reason, I usually want to read one or two, and I was scrolling Instagram Reels and came across this as a recommendation, and it sounded cute, so I grabbed it. Finally, we have The Air Affair, which was actually on my November TBR, and it got bumped to December. I believe this is a literary fiction slash comedy that follows someone who jumps into books, jumps into stories, and then can hop from story to story, and we follow their misadventures. It's a Usual Thursday renowned special operative in literary detection until someone begins kidnapping characters from works of literature. Oh, I was super wrong. Okay, so we're not hopping from book to book. Characters from the books are being kidnapped. When Jane Eyre is plucked from the pages of a Bronte novel, Thursday is the person's name. Wow, I didn't know anything. Thursday must track down the villain and enter a novel herself. She does enter novels! And avert a heinous act of literary homicide. I don't know what's going on. It's one of the books I'm gonna read this month, though. I have high hopes for this one. It sounds like something that is just the right kind of chaos, and I hope I love it. Okay, let's hop over to my video schedule. These are the videos that I plan on filming in the month of December. Starting with Tuesday, that's going to be my wrap-up video for November. It'll be a couple days late, but I mean, we'll survive. Then on the 5th, I have I Don't Know. The reason is because I feel like I forgot something. You know, the end of the year videos, I have the best, I have the worst, I have the awards, but I feel like there's something else that is typically done at the end of the year that I just couldn't think of. So you go through the rest of the schedule with me, and if there's anything that I don't bring up that you like to see for end of the year videos, do let me know, and I'll slip it into that spot. On the 10th, we have a cozy reading vlog. So there's several cozy books that I'm reading in December. This doesn't happen very often for me, so I figure we need to vlog it. So we have the Christmas romance, we have the fortune teller cozy book, and then for the third book in the vlog, because I usually like to do threes, we could either do the Air Affair book, or we could do the Frederick Bachman book that I'm technically reading in November, but you know, we could just talk about it more in the vlog. You can let me know which one you're more interested in, because with reading vlogs I usually try to go more in depth, as well as chronicling my reading, so you can let me know what you think about that. And then we're going into the end of the month videos, my favorite time of year. We're gonna chronicle on the 12th the worst books of the year. On the 17th we're doing awards. This is going to be more abstract. This isn't just talking about the best. We're talking about, you know, my favorite magic system, the book that surprised me the most, the one that made me think differently, the one that challenged me the most, the most pages, the fewest pages, best character, worst character, you know, trying to go a little bit wider in what types of books I talk about. That way there's that video, and then we'll also talk about, you know, the best books of the year, which for some reason I put on this as top books. I don't know why. On the 24th, I hope to have Till the Hounds done. So, you know, Christmas Eve, Christmas cheer, let's talk about Malazan. And then we'll do on the 26th, the TBR for January, and on the 31st, the wrap up of December. Again, do let me know what books specifically you'd like to see in the cozy reading vlog, what you want to see in the video slot that I haven't actually put an idea into yet, if there's anything that is missing that you really like to see at the end of the year for the end of the year type videos. And if there's any books that I'm reading in December that you've already read or that you want to hop on board with, please do let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're going to join me for anything. I'll see you again soon. Bye.